Welcome into Louisville Focus, and like you, today is a big picnic celebration. I hope you're having one as well. We've got Louisville Metro Parks and Recreation here, and we have burgers on the grill thanks to a man by the name of Ronell Brown who made the burgers. Ronell, show us how you do the magic.
This meal I'm about to prepare are some burgers that we used to do at the Louisville Fire Department. We had to cook every third day, and this is one of the fast meals that I was able to prepare for the guys and gals at the fire department. What we having today is burgers. We having good ground beef, and you need to have a package of ground beef, as you know. Open this up. And it's always good to make sure that your meat is fresh and cold. And we're gonna use this bowl here to throw our burger in. Like it cold, and then you just would like to break it up in your bowl, and you take red peppers and you just mix it up like this. Make sure it gets inside of all of the meat. So I'm adding me some onions. Onions make everything taste good. You just need these onions in here, like that. Now, it's time for my green pepper. Just gonna do this. And I know some chefs will probably say, I'm not cutting my peppers right, but that's okay. I'm not a chef. We're gonna knead these in a little bit. You can season your meat with whatever type of seasoning you like, but today we're gonna use salt and pepper. We don't wanna override the rest of the peppers and onions and the salt. Oh, that looks good. So we'll make them about this size. We'll make them about that size there. Put that baby on there. Take this, put that there. You take your plate and you smash it. Like so. Pull that off. Pull that off, and voila. These are the Ronell burgers. Hope you enjoy.
'Tis the season to get together with family and friends, and nothing says summer fun like a picnic. And in this case, we're at Cox's Park off River Road, and we're gonna have a family picnic, but what takes priority over fun is safety. So we're with the good folks from Louisville Metro Public Health and Safety, and this is Allison Schleck, right? Allison, yes, welcome to the show. And also Ron Friesen. Ron, welcome in.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys are the experts. So first and foremost, I guess if you're the chef, you've got to really watch what you're serving up. Is that right, Allison?
Yes, a lot of picnicking is preparation. So we want to, as much as you can do at home is great in the safety of your own kitchen with all your hand washing and all of that kind of stuff, but what we mainly want to focus on is keeping our food safe and cold. You want a clean cooler with plenty of ice to store your meats and your vegetables, and you want to ensure that you're keeping the raw food separate from the ready-to-eat food as well.
Okay, now curious, so what's the reason for that? You're saying the raw from the ready-to-eat. Is there just a bad chemistry kind of combination that speaks to bacteria, or what is the reason for that, Allison?
Yes, John. Raw meat has bacteria that can be dangerous. It can cause foodborne illness if they come in contact with a food that's ready to eat. So that's why we want to make sure those are kept separate.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. You know, something I've always been curious about. I'm one of those, and it's by accident, but sometimes I'm a rude guest. I get there late, and maybe things have been sitting out for a while. I would assume there's a danger. I'm always hesitant to eat, or is it okay, Allison?
That's a great question, John. At a picnic, we don't want foods to be sitting out for more than 2 hours. And if the temperature is over 90 degrees, an hour is the maximum you would want that food to be sitting out at room temperature.
Okay,
or
that makes
outside.
Yeah, that makes sense. And there's all kinds of things that are flying around, and you can't control that. So with that being said, you just got to be careful. I would assume, you cover your food quite a bit if you can, right? Okay.
Right. Anytime you can use, like, keep things in a cooler or put plastic wrap or aluminum foil over your food to protect it from those flying insects.
Okay, temperature. Okay, we talk about the temperature of food, what is correct. I know some people like their burgers raw or rare or whatever. I mean, to me, it's like, what is the correct temperature? Is there one? Is it any different from indoors?
No, it's the same, but when you want to keep your food cold, as I was mentioning before, so that's like refrigeration temperatures, 41 or below. So you want to try to keep your cooler at that temperature. Once you get to the picnic and you're actually cooking your food, you want to have a metal stem thermometer. It doesn't have to be this fancy. You can get a simpler model at any supermarket or big box store. There's another example right there. And those are for checking your food temperatures, particularly your raw meats, to make sure that you're cooking them to a safe temperature. And the safe temperature is going to depend on what kind of meat it is. So like a hamburger, you would want that to be at least 155 degrees, whereas chicken would need to be 165.
Okay.
So it just depends on what it is, but that'll help ensure that you're serving your meat at a safe temperature.
Okay, Ron, I want to ask you, are there any foods that you say, bring these because they are, I guess, something that doesn't spread bacteria, or there's something that's evergreen, or you don't have to worry? Or the foods like that you can say, okay, this is prepackaged, it's non-perishable, it's going to be fine?
Yeah, well, John, I just happen to have some chips here, so I think those would be good, right, Allison? You think those would be okay?
Those are just fine.
All right, no ice needed for that. I've got some granola bars here as well, so I think those should be good out.
Those are, yes.
Yeah,
those are
but
perfectly
you know
fine.
what? I'm just really hungry right now,
Okay.
so I think we've got too many cutting boards here, and I'm just going to put this over here. We can put the hot dog buns over here. Are we good, Allison? Everything good?
I think this is a picnic party foul that Ron has committed.
What are you talking about?
What's the foul? What did you do?
He has placed the ready-to-eat head of lettuce on top of a cutting board that has raw, uncooked meat on it, which is a big no-no for your picnic, because he just contaminated his salad with the raw meat.
Okay, but I need this for my for the buns over here to cut them, right? So, no, is this okay?
One thing Ron needs to
Can I do
make
that
sure
here?
that he's doing is
I'll just
he
put these
needs
over
to
here.
use separate utensils for his raw meat and for his vegetables.
No,
He
wait
needs
a
to
minute.
make sure that he
Ron, you're like the bad kid in class. You know better than this, Ron. You're an expert.
I
Come
tell
on.
you, no. Actually, today I'm just a regular person here, just learning about food safety. So, I should probably wash my hands, right? But
Yeah,
I don't.
but
There's no sink around here.
Let's
What am I
talk
going to do?
about that. Yeah, if you're around the food, I guess every guest should probably
So the first thing you want to do before you start preparing any kind of food is to wash your hands. And in the case where there's not any hand washing facilities available, hand sanitizer is a last resort. It's better than nothing, but if you can wash your hands with running water, soap and paper towels, it's much more preferable to using the hand sanitizer.
Yeah, especially if you've been doing sports or running around with the kids and all, and you've been hands in the dirt. So yeah, before you prepare food, really needs to clean up.
So with the Department of Health and Safety, is this more of a dangerous time of year because bacteria can live and breathe as opposed to maybe the winter or when it's cooler? Is summer more dangerous, so you have to be more careful?
Well, you could say that because of people outdoors cooking and potentially leaving food to sit out in the heat, you could get rapid multiplication of bacteria, so that's correct.
Okay. Now,
John,
Ron,
I did want to, sorry to interrupt you, I did want
Sure.
to add something that Ron needs to know because of his preparation over there. We want to make sure that when folks are cooking hamburgers or any type of raw meat, that the plate that they hold the raw meat on is not the same one that they put the cooked meat on, because once you cook it, you could contaminate the cooked product with what was on the raw meat. So we want separate plates for cooked versus ready to eat meats.
All right, so this is ready for the grill.
It's ready for the grill.
Let's say it's raw. Let's say these are raw hot dogs. And I've just taken them off the grill, which is over there, ready to go. And so these are all ready. And let's say this one's grilled and I've just put it over here. I haven't grilled these yet, but I'll just put it on the side, right? Isn't that okay?
No. Okay, Allison, why not?
No, because there could be juices, there's, yeah, moisture, contact. You could be contaminating your cooked ones with your uncooked one.
We've talked a lot about, to me, it seems the entree, the meats. Well, tell me about side dishes, condiments. Okay, are they safe? What's the rule there?
Condiments, these are all shelf stable, so these are generally fine. If they're out in the extreme heat, you may get some spoilage, which is not necessarily a safety issue, it's just more of a quality issue. So those, there's no need to worry about keeping those refrigerated. Those are okay outside at a picnic. They may spoil faster, but it's not gonna make you sick.
Louisville Metro Public Health and Wellness, you guys are a plethora of information and good information at that. But you know what? I think we don't want to miss the main point here, Ron, which is have fun, right? Have fun, but be safe. It can go in combo, right?
That's right. You can do both at the same time.
All right.
So have a good time. Keep your raw separate from your ready to eat.
All right. Really
and enjoy.
Yes, enjoy. Thank you so much, Allison. Appreciate it.
Thank you, John.
Ron, thank you so much. Enjoyed the time here. Okay, a little bit on safety. There you go. Metro TV, that's what we're all about. Yes, have a lot of fun, but also be safe, be healthy. Just a little bit of information from, I want to make sure I get this right. It's Louisville Metro Public Health and Wellness. Did I hit that one?
That's it. You
All
got
right,
it.
there you go. Okay, if I'm running a marathon, I want to be surrounded by cardiologists. However, if I'm in front of a hot grill, I want to be surrounded by people with the Louisville Fire Department, and I am, it just so happens. With me now is Captain Tamara Stewart. Captain, welcome back to the show. Appreciate you coming back.
Thanks for having me.
And who is your partner back here on the grill?
So this is firefighter Austin Whitman. He and I actually are assigned together at Engine 19 on 1st Platoon. So I decided to bring him out here with me today, and we at the firehouse we take turns cooking. So he offered to cook today.
All right, well, we appreciate that, and you know what you're doing when it comes to safety. So let's talk a little bit about this. Don't get me wrong, it's fun, and you want to be a captain on the grill. Safety first, right?
Absolutely. So just remember, if you're cooking on, anytime you've got a grill going, especially, always use your grill outside. So never use anything indoors that's propane or charcoal. We need to do that outside, so first and foremost. Secondly, leave it at least 3 feet around your grill, free of pets or children, or you don't want it up close to the side of your house or anything. So give 3 feet, because even just standing, I'm probably, maybe we're 2 feet from this grill, and the heat that's radiating off of this, we can feel that where we are. So if you had this grill pushed up to the side of your house and you have vinyl siding, it doesn't take long, and then you might notice that vinyl siding starting to melt a little bit. The worst case scenario is you get some kind of heat transfer, and now you've got a structure fire because it started from your grill. So always pull your grills out. Be far away from a building or a deck or a railing. Don't grill on a wooden deck, because if one of these charcoals falls down, now you've got a wooden deck. Now you have a deck on fire, and that's just asking for trouble. So really be conscious around your surroundings, and even just overhead branches. Make sure they're not too close. If you're outside where we are at a park today, make sure that branch isn't down too low that could get up in our cooking fire or anything like that.
This is good information. Much of it seems like common sense, but you added a few notes there. I'm curious. Does the fire department get calls when someone is out grilling and there are fires? Yes, no question about
Absolutely.
it, right? So
Absolutely.
You would think, hey, you should know that. Of course you know that, but sometimes I do think people just forget. You
Sure.
get that too close to anything that's flammable and it's trouble.
Sure. And remember, if you live in an apartment complex, you shouldn't be grilling on your patio, because again, it doesn't take long or just a split second that fire can get into if you've got a balcony above your head, or if you have wooden decks. So if you're gonna grill, if you live in an apartment complex, go find the yard area, or find a park where they have grills installed for you to use. So just really, it doesn't take more than a second for a disaster. So never leave your grill unattended, because that's another thing. You just think, oh, I forgot the mustard, I'm gonna go inside real quick. Don't even turn your back on it for a second. If you bring all your stuff with you, have it out there, or send someone to go fetch it for you. If you're using a propane tank for your gas grill, remember, don't turn on the gas and leave it closed and then open it up and light it, because that gas is collected in there and you have a little bit of a fireball. You don't need that. So have your grill open, turn on your gas, and then light it. For a charcoal grill, if you're going to use lighter fluid, always use charcoal starter fluid. Don't use anything else that's not designed for charcoal. You make your pile of charcoal first, add no more than a 1/4 cup of charcoal fluid per pound of charcoal. So you don't need a lot. Then you light your charcoal, and then after that, don't add any more lighter fluid. You don't want to stand here and squirt because you don't want that coming back at you. So it's tempting sometimes to just put a bunch of fluid on it. You don't need all that. Buy a high quality charcoal that's gonna do its job well. Give it time, get those nice coals going, and you'll be cooking in no time.
I want you to remind me real quick. You explained it, but again, tell me the steps in lighting a propane tank, because I do think sometimes it can get confusing. It's like, wait a minute, what do I do here? What do I turn on first? How does it work?
Sure. So depending on the type of grill that you have, if you have a propane tank, one thing when you're using it for the first time this season, we encourage you to check it for leaks first. The way you do that, just get a bottle, like a spray bottle, put a little bit of soap and some water in there, make a little soapy mixture. Spray around the hose and spray that valve area. If you see little bubbles, that means you might have a leak. Or if you turn on that propane tank and you smell the rotten egg smell. So propane actually does not have an odor, but the people that bottle this for us, they add mercaptan. Yes. So if you smell rotten eggs or skunky smell, that means you might have a leak. So turn everything off, don't light anything, and take it to get serviced. So don't run the risk on that, but check your grill, check your propane tank and all the hoses before you get started for the season. But once you know everything's safe, you'll open your propane tank, and depending on the type of grill that you have, some have an electric starter. So you'll turn on just a little bit. You don't need a whole lot. You don't need to turn it all the way up, but open up those burners. And then if you have an electric starter, you just push that button. Or if you don't have an electric starter, we recommend use a long stemmed match, like one of those really long matches, or one of those long, electric lighters, one of the longer things. You don't want to get your hand in there with a real short match. So keep well away. Don't get your head in there, just to you'd like to keep your eyebrows. So, keep your head out of there. So remember, just to get things started, you don't need a whole lot of fuel. You don't need to have your valves wide open. Just a little bit of gas to get that going. Add your fuel source, so your long stem match or that long lighter, and then you can adjust how much fuel you need to get to the temperature that you need.
Oh, this is really great, helpful tips. I really appreciate that. So, Captain Stewart, before I let you go, how's Austin doing back there? I mean, come on now, you've done your share of grilling in your day. Mm-hmm. Okay, so does it look like he has any expertise, any future in the cooking business?
Maybe not as a chef, but as a firefighter, I promise these will all get eaten. I guarantee that. So.
That's what I want to hear. That's what everyone wants to hear. Again, safety is first, folks. Get out there, have fun. Have fun on the grill. Enjoy your grill, but be safe. Captain Stewart, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Once again, safety tips from the fire department right here on Metro TV. Nothing says relief during these hot summer months like the shade of a tree, and I'm enjoying that right now at Cox's Park with my newfound friend. This is Jared Smith. He is with the Urban Forestry under the umbrella of Louisville Parks and Recreation. Okay, Jared, first of all, this guy's our friend, isn't he?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we need trees. They're a vital part of what we need to survive, just as much as we need water or food.
Yeah, it's interesting. In this short conversation, you have taught me a lot. So we hear a lot about the canopy and the importance of the canopy, especially now that we're having all these environmental issues. With that being said, what is the canopy and why is it important, Jared?
Yeah, so a canopy is really just any concentration of a single or group of trees that provide certain benefits for not just the environment and the animals, but ourselves. So they help clean our air. They deal with storm water management, reducing how much water is actually making it back into our wastewater system. And just all in all, it's even been linked to helping with cardiac issues. Having trees around can make you a literal healthier person.
Wow, it's funny you say that because I've been reading all these articles on longevity and health as I get older, and they do say get outdoors. So it's more than just the fresh air and the visual. trees help with that fresh air, so that makes sense to me. Okay, now when I go to a park like here at beautiful Cox's Park or Seneca Park or Iroquois or wherever, I always think that these trees are just random and they happen to be here. Yeah. But you were telling me that's not the case. Tell me about what goes into the selection of trees, or how does that work?
Of course, yeah. So for us, being in the Louisville Metro Parks system, we really strive to have native species. So that is pulling all of our native trees that have been here for centuries, and a lot of intention must go into that development. So it's not just what trees are great for a certain park, whether it's wet or dry, but also what is the function of that tree? Is it shading over a picnic area, or is it, you know, lining an alley in a parking lot? So that all kind of goes into the fact of being very intentional with what we choose and how it's going to impact the landscape.
Jared, you said intentional, and I think it's interesting that you also intentionally look to the future. And what is the future of Louisville, the Ohio Valley? What is it going to look like? And trees play an important role. So tell me a little bit about this survey and the reason for you. You were telling me, is it a tree survey, a canopy survey? What's it about?
Yeah, so just like we're intentional on the small scale in a park, we have to be intentional in the large scale as well. So Louisville Metro Government has partnered with Trees Louisville and Urban Canopy Works out of Northern Kentucky to launch a Louisville Master Tree Plan. This will be our guidebook into the future and really kind of formulate what we want to achieve for our city in the long term. And so there are several workshops going on all summer, along with a survey that I would voice for everyone to take some time and fill out to make your voice heard, to really put your impact on your landscape, not just for now, but for the future. And that could be found at LouisvilleTreePlan.org.
LouisvilleTreePlan.org to have your say. Yeah, I love that. The fact that, yes, the public can have a say on what Louisville looks like moving into the future. So we talk a lot about economic development and new buildings and new businesses, but making sure that we keep an eye on these guys, on trees, the canopy, greenery, that's important, isn't it?
That's right. I mean, to be honest, it is infrastructure. And just like our roadways and our water, green infrastructure is a critical component of a healthy, vibrant city. And that pulls in economic development, that makes people happy and healthier, and that really just benefits us all.
I want to give this guy some camera time because he's been so good to us. It feels so good. So what kind of tree is this, Jared?
What we got here is a common hackberry. You can really easily distinguishable tree. Anyone can ID them. They have these raised bark edges, and as you look up the tree, you can kind of see them. They kind of space out a little bit, but a very easy to identify tree. And this whole cluster here is all common hackberries. More than likely came in from a flood from the Ohio River and called it home.
Well, since you've seen all the parks that exist, because you are with urban forestry, well, name a couple of your favorite parks. What, you know, if you had someone from out of town and you go, hey, I'm going to show you a few, what do you like?
Well, you know, you mentioned it earlier. I think Iroquois Park is such a unique park for our system because it's just so forested. If you really wanted to detach yourself from the cityscape, Iroquois Park is great with its vistas and its overlook and just its dense canopy. I think, you know, going out further into the county, you can't go wrong with Long Run or McNeely. Being the holiday weekend, you might want to be near some water. So both of those would be great options to have a little water source nearby.
Yeah, the view of the Ohio River isn't too shabby.
It's pretty nice. Yeah, you can't go wrong with it.
Once again, with the urban forestry under Louisville Parks and Recreation, Jared Smith, we thank him so much. And again, before we go, I want to ask you that website for people to weigh in on what Louisville looks like into the future in terms of greenery and canopies. Where do they go once again?
Yeah, go to LouisvilleTreePlan.org.
There you go. So once again, these guys are your friends, keeping it nice and cool here at Cox's Park. There is nothing like the joy of a picnic. It speaks to community, and it speaks to, in this case, thank you to Louisville Metro Parks and Recreation, because we've got some guys here who work very hard, and they're enjoying a delicious meal outdoors here at Cox's Park. With me now is Jonathan Delk, and he is a parks manager. Jonathan, first of all, there's a whole lot of handsome at this table, isn't there?
There really is. There really is. They're a good-looking bunch.
They are a good-looking bunch, and I know they work hard. And this is a kind of a thank you, and I think it is important for folks who aren't aware of exactly what these guys do. I think sometimes we take for granted how beautiful our parks are, but that's due to a lot of these folks here, right?
Very much so, yeah. Now, they guys work very hard. They wear a lot of hats for us, and so you go out to the parks and you see it taken care of. You really owe all of your thanks to these guys. They do all the work. I kind of just sit back and let them do their job. Yeah.
As parks manager, you were telling me that you oversee the parks in the northeast part
yes.
Of Louisville and the county. So Now, off the top of my head, that would be, of course, here.
Yep.
Cherokee Park. What other parks does that include?
Yeah, so we go as far northeast as Hayes Kennedy up by Prospect, and then Camp Taylor down 264 intersection with Poplar Level. That's us as well. Basically, if you think of us as inside of 264 and east of 65, that's our district.
But all of Parks and Recreation work together, right?
Yes.
In tandem. So
Yeah.
what are some of the, I guess, job requirements? What are we looking to get done? And when you look at a park, you're probably seeing it differently than I do. I'm looking for, okay, where's a picnic table? Where's the shade? What do you look at? When you look at a park, what do you say? What do I need to do?
Well, first thing we look at is that grass looking good, right? That's the first thing during the summer that we pay attention to. Is the grass looking good? Is there any areas that we've missed that we need to get next time around? Outside of that, restrooms, how are the restrooms looking? Is there any trash strewn about? Are the trash cans empty? Are they tidy? That kind of thing. And then once all the big basic stuff like that is taken care of, then that's when I and my supervisors can go around and see, all right, what's here that might not necessarily need to be here, like poles that have been here for a few years because they used to have a sign on them, but we're not sure what that sign used to be. Get those poles out of the ground. Is there a pavilion that needs to be pressure washed? Let's get some of that taken care of. So that's what myself and my supervisors do, while the crew itself handles those big budget items like taking care of the grass, taking care of the restrooms, taking care of the trash.
Gotcha. So, you know, for someone like myself who's watching now and they're saying, you know, I love my parks. I'm very proud of the park system that we have here in Louisville. What can they do for you, Jonathan? Someone's enjoying a nice summer day, and don't get me wrong, you want them to have fun, but on the other hand, you know, hey, be mindful, be respectful, correct?
100%, yeah. The best thing that any citizen can do when they're enjoying the park is enjoy the park, have the time of your life. Our parks are great, and we love for you to use them. But if you've got a spread like this, take it with you. It's great. It's great to take it with you. That's the best thing that you can do, because day-to-day traffic on the trash cans are going to fill them up 100%. If you use the trash can, that's great. But if you have the ability to take it with you, especially in some of our neighborhood parks that might only have the one trash can, if you live nearby and you can take it home to your own trash can, that's going to be great. But at the end of the day, if you get it into the trash can, that's going to help us out a ton.
Jonathan Duck, I appreciate your time here, and believe me, on behalf of myself, my family, my friends, and the folks watching Metro TV now, thank you for all that you do, and this crew here for all you do. And how do you like your burger? You like cheese, no cheese, medium rare? What do you like?
Cheese, medium rare, bun, ketchup, mustard, call it a day.
Sounds good. All right.
All right.
Well, have a seat and enjoy then.
Thank you so much.
Once again, Parks and Recreation, that's Jonathan Delk, and you heard him. Yes, enjoy your parks, but be respectful. Clean up around you. Hey, and the main thing is have good family fun. It can all be done in tandem. So once again, a few helpful tips for you when you visit your local parks. So I wanted to say a personal thank you to some of the folks here who work so hard to keep our parks beautiful, and it is a beautiful day. Okay, your name, sir, is?
Lindsey Hearn, and I'm a park maintenance here. Basically, we just make sure the bathrooms are comfortable and clean as possible.
I appreciate that, man, because I do enjoy my parks. Okay, so wait a minute, hot dog only? Come on, you're disappointing me, Lindsey. You deserve more than that. Is that it?
Nah, you caught us right after lunch, so unfortunately we had already ate.
Oh man, oh come on. All right. Let me grab a gentleman over here. Your name is?
Hi, my name is Jose. I'm working for Metro Park and Recreation, like park worker too. I'm so happy to belong to this family.
Man, I'm so glad you're here. Now, and how about you? Now, I know you had a little lunch beforehand, but water, that's it. Come on. Well, you on some kind of diet or something? You look great.
Yes, I have to gain some pounds. I need to gain some weight. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. I hope you don't mind that I ask. Where are you from?
I'm from Cuba.
Cuba. Okay. So in Spanish, can you say this is a nice day in a beautiful park?
Esto es un bello parque.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Whatever he said. Yeah, I'm all into that. But anyway, these guys are enjoying themselves. Hey, get out to one of your local parks. Right here, Cox's Park. Beautiful with the river view. The food is absolutely delicious. Let me come over here to this gentleman. Hold on. I'm not going to forget you, man. What's your name?
My name is Dylan Smither, and I make sure that our wonderful parks are clean and well maintained.
See, you look at Dylan, man. He moved right to the camera. You've been on camera before, man. So some of the major motion pictures we've seen on the big screen, you've been there, haven't you, Dylan?
I was in most of them, yeah.
Yeah. And rave reviews, like, unbelievable, right?
I mean, only the best,
Yeah.
only the finest.
That's what I thought. I can tell you've done this before. So what exactly do you do for the parks here, Dylan? I know that you're a movie star full-time, but part-time, what do you do here?
I'm on trash. I make sure the garbage cans are as empty as can be every day. and any litter that's on the ground, I get rid of it.
There you go. There's a man who knows exactly what he's doing in the park and on camera. See, we've got it all here happening at Cox's Park. Thanks so much for joining us on Louisville Focus. Enjoy your summer. I hope you do. And on behalf of Metro TV, thank you for watching. I'm going to go grab a burger.